Hello everyone. Now we are going to see needle points. Needle points or sharp point needle and ball point needle. Most of the time, a sharp point needle is the most common needle type, which is suitable for a woven fabric. It is available in a variety of needle size. It is available from lightweight to heavyweight. A lightweight size number 10 and heavyweight size number 19. A ballpoint needle, it is rounded point. So this needle makes it is ideal for use in all types of knit or stretch fabric. This ballpoint needle should be needed to knit or stretch fabrics. It is available in the variety of size from 10 up to 19. 10. It is a lightweight and 19 for a heavy weight. This picture shows the needle point. So this one is a sharp point needle, easily penetrates the fabric and bring the lower thread and stitch. This one is a knitted or a stretch fabric, a ball point needle is used. This needle is round, then easy to penetrate the fabric, knitted fabric. So maybe this knitted fabric is more suitable for a sharp point needle because easily break the thread. So a suitable one is rounded because of this is knit and stretch. Better to use this round ballpoint needle. And in woven, it is used with a sharp point needle. Thank you. I finish chapter 3. We'll see you the next video with chapter 4. Hello everyone. This is Gadamnesh. As a previous video, we covered about industrial sewing machine, types of sewing machine, industrial sewing machine function and application, and also sewing machine parts and their function. So now we are going to see chapter 4, classification of stitch. A stitch can be classified according to their application characteristics and types. So before stitching, there is a stitch device. Those stitch devices are like hook or bobbin, looper, spreader, and needle. This one is a hook, and this one is looper, and this one is a spreader, and this one is needle. So this or those devices are which can be formed with a stitch. A stitch, it is a series of repetitive single turns or loops of a thread or yarns through interlooping, intralooping, and interlacing. So this stitch can be formed with interlooping. It is formed by passing the loop of one thread through the loop of another thread or another swing thread. This is interlooping. Interlooping, it can be formed by passing of the loop of another thread through the loop of another thread for the swing thread. A good example is this interlooping is stitch type 401. Interlooping, it is another stitch type. It is formed by passing the loop of one thread through the loop of the same thread. This interlooping is, it can be formed the passing of the loop of the thread, one thread, through a loop of the same thread. A good example is stitch type 101. Interlacing, it is formed when one thread passes over another thread. This is a stitch type 301. Interlacing is a good example for a lock stitch or 300 stitch type. You'll see this one is a stitch. This one, see, this one is a machine. Stitch can be classified or types. Class 100, a single thread chain stitch. This single thread chain stitch is a type of stitch. This stitch is used only one thread. That thread is upper thread only. A class 200 or hand stitch. This stitch also most of the time done with a hand, and it can be used for more of a decorative stitch. A class 300 lock stitch. This stitch type is versatile. So this lock stitch is used as upper in the lower thread from the bobbin, and the upper thread from the needle. Class 400 multi-thread chain stitch. This stitch type is using more than two thread, or it has more than two needles. A class 500 chain stitch over 8 chain stitch. A class 600 cover chain stitch. This stitch type is using more than three or two needles, and also this stitch type using a needle, and the lower thread is looper and spreader. You'll see one by one in a class 100 or single thread chain stitch. It is a chain stitch with assistance of spreader. This 100 or class 100 single thread chain stitch is assist with spreader as the lower part of the thread. From when one or more needle threads pass through the fabric and from loop on the underside of the fabric. No lower thread. This class 100 doesn't have a lower thread, only using the upper thread. It had a good elongation in the stretch and makes unraveling. This 100 or class 100 is it has a good elongation and easily stretchable. Description: simple chain stitch intraloop. Cost very inexpensive. Durability flexible and extensible. Appearance plain on face, single chain on back. Comfort less comfort than 100. This 100 class 100 stitch is less comfortable for that of 300, because of 300 is more comfortable and a good stitch type. So those stitches have their own classification in each classes. Limitation: unravels too easily for use inequality. Apparel used for temporary stitch. This stitch type used for the apparel temporary stitch, like basting. A special feature use only one thread. This stitch type has its feature use only one thread. Stitch type 101. This stitch type is formed with one thread introduced from one side of the material only. You'll see this stitch type, only one thread, uses only one thread. So when you are check your fabric as the face or as the right side, face type like this, and underside like this, the stitch type is like this. So this stitch type is 101. 100, 200, and 300, 400, 500, 600. Stitch types has their own varieties. They have varieties. Stitch 100, stitch 101, 2, and so on. They have this type of a stitch. The application of this stitch 101 using for basting, button sewing, spot tacking, bag closing, buttonhole, and decorative stitch are a good example of this stitch 101. 101 can be applied for basting, button sewing, spot tacking, bag closing, buttonhole, and decorative stitch. Now another stitch type 103. This is group under 100. So it is commonly known as a single thread blind hemming or filling the stitch. So this is a single thread blind hem or filling stitch. It is produced using a curved needle. Most of the time, this stitch type used for curved needle because of this stitch type is using for hemming or filling stitch, which pass left to the right through a single or a double hem, folded a piece of material. When you are seeing this stitch type as the underside, like this, only using one thread, but the stitch type is like this. A stitch type 103, more of applied for hemming, belt loops, padding operation. Padding operation. These are the stitch type 103 applies for hemming, belt loop, padding operations are used for this 103 stitch type. A stitch type 104, it is widely used for attaching buttons, snap fasteners, trousers, cuff tags. These are a good example for 104 stitch type. This is 100 stitch type. Another class 200. This 200 is a hand stitch. More of this stitch used only by hand. Nowadays, there is a development of technology or different technological machineries. Some hand stitch done with machine. This type of stitch are hand stitch that are used for decorative purpose. This can also be done on automatic machines called the pick stitch swing machines, but are very slow and are rarely in use because more of this stitch type is done with a hand, but sometimes this stitch can be done with automatic machines or called the pick stitch machines. This stitch description, hand stitch machine simulations, one thread up and down through the fabric, only one thread up and down. Cost expensive compared to machine stitch because this is a hand stitch, so it is expensive for that of the machine stitch. Durability, machine not durable. Appearance, machine is more uniform, hand may be less noticeable. Limitation, decorative and special uses, not used for structural shapes. A special feature, most are made on specialty machines. These are class 200 hand stitch type, a back stitch, catch stitch. This one is a catch stitch, joining the two pieces of fabric in together. A buttonholing with hand. Or this one is a basting type. Another type is stitch type 200. This is grouped under 200, class 200. This type of stitch is formed with one thread. It is a machine-made version of traditional hand stitch. This stitch is, you see the face side or the right side of the fabric or the wrong side of the fabric, like this. When you see this stitch type, this one is shows the 200 stitch 209 type. Another one is stitch type 300 or class lock stitch. This stitch type using the rotor hook or the bobbin case and the needle. So it can be used two threads, the upper and the lower thread. The lower thread from the bobbin case and the upper thread from the needle. This is the lock stitch. This lock stitch formed by needle thread introduced from one side of the material, interlacing with an under through supplied from bobbin on the other side. Now, this the red one is the needle part of the thread, and the yellow part as the lower or the bobbin cause thread. So these two threads are interlacing together. It forms a lock stitch. Lock stitch. You will see this one. The black one is the upper thread or the needle thread. In the lower, the white one is the lower thread. It can be travel through the bobbin case. Through the bobbin case. The class 300 lock stitch, it is the most common form of stitch in ready-made garments, especially ready-made garments and all apparel garments already done with this stitch. The top thread is called the needle thread and the bottom thread is called the bobbin thread. It is the most appropriate for a wide range of seams. This lock stitch is the most appropriate for the wide range of seams. This class 300 stitch has different variety, around 27 different class 100 stitch already there. So you will see some of these class stitch types. Disadvantage of lock stitch: limited bobbin thread length makes it necessary for changing of the bobbin from when it gets finished. Multi-needle stitch with many close space needle is not possible due to a limit space for the bobbin. Using only one bobbin. Using stitches only one bobbin. The interlacing of the thread limits limits the elasticity of the stitch and is unsuitable for edge knitting. This lock stitch or 300 doesn't use edge knit because it doesn't have elasticity limitation in there. It is not suitable for knitted fabric due to lack of elasticity. Because lack of elasticity, knit fabrics doesn't sew with this type of stitch. Lock stitch. Distribution lock stitch costs higher labor cost due to bobbin replacement. Durability strong, not very extensible. Appearance some do not grain, but tends to pucker, reversible. Comfort very comfortable, flat, non-bulky. Limitation bobbin replacement, low productivity. Because of when the sewer changes the bobbin, maybe the bobbin thread already finished, then at that time the sewer changes the bobbin, so it takes time. In case of that, low productivity already happen. A special feature hard to unravel, most widely used. A special feature of this lock stitch is hard to unravel and mostly wide used, or it is versatile. A stitch type 301, this 301 is under a group of 300. This type of stitch is formed with two threads, one needle thread A and one bobbin thread B. A loop of thread A is passed through the material and interlaced with the thread B. This stitch type, the red one, comes from the needle and interlacing, and the needle penetrates the fabric and insert to the bobbin, brings the thread and forms the interlacing. The two threads are interlaced together. This one. So the big group, or it can come from the bobbin case. So these two threads are interlacing. It forms a stitch like this. A and B. A from the needle, B thread travel from the bobbin. So these two threads are interlacing together. It forms a stitch. Thank you for watching this video.